To Mariska, since I last chatted to you in the previous hour, you did indicate that no properties have been affected by the fire as yet. What's the latest?
Exactly as you say there, Simpiwe, and as you heard Iviwe saying there, the Fresno area, that's exactly where we are now, where she was last night. The sun is rising over Signal Hill here, and I must say it's looking much, much better than it did last night. I'm looking up because there was a thick plume of smoke hanging over the entire Sea Point Fresno area last night, and still early this morning when we got up to come to work. We just want to show you how close that fire actually got to the properties that Iviwe was referring to. Here's the eucalyptus trees, and barely 20 meters from where the fire stopped is the next house. So that's how close it got. It's very steep up here, so spare a thought for the men and women, the firefighters, who had to climb up here last night and literally stop this fire in its tracks here on the mountain. They had to slog up here. There's no way they can drive further than about 20 meters from here, and they literally have to carry all their equipment and what they need up the mountain here. But it got very, very close, but no damage to property at all. An hour ago when we spoke, there were 2 helicopters water bombing on Lions Head side. That will be behind the camera right now, and it seems as if it worked. I mean, we haven't gotten hold of officials yet to tell us the official line, but if I'm looking up at the sky and looking at the smoke, there is no smoke at the moment, so I think they might be winning this morning. It's looking much, much better, and this morning people taking stock. We saw a lady in that property we showed you earlier coming out this morning and just having a look out to gaze how close that fire got, and I think there were some very, very, very nervous people up here in Fresno last night.
So perhaps from the firefighters, how the fire containment measures have been going in the other areas?
Well, here in the Cape Town area where the fire is raging on Table Mountain itself, this morning when we arrived at the spot, we came here first to check it out. There were some very tired firefighters sitting around here. They were fighting all night, slogging up the mountain. It's a very, very steep incline, as I've said. So the efforts were very high and big efforts last night. As we heard from Mr. Theo Lane, one of the chief fire officers for the Cape Town area, 80 personnel still on the ground because there are hot spots. Unfortunately, we cannot pan to the side because you will look straight into the sun. But there's still some smouldering embers here, and that's the kind of thing that they're looking out for right now in areas that they can reach to put it out as quickly as possible. Because the big problem is it might be smouldering now, but if the wind picks up, that could reignite the fire. So these hotspots, they will be on those hotspots most of the day, making sure that they are completely out. So the firefighting efforts by no means are over yet, but it is looking much better than it did even an hour ago.
All right, Mariska, thank you so much for your update. That was a reporter, Mariska Botha, speaking to us live from Lions Head, where firefighters have been battling a blaze overnight.